Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Madam, and I'm coming back to you once again. This time, I'm going to go over the complex, and this is about Matt Barnes. Apparently, he's speaking out about trans women playing in the WNBA. The article is by Joshua Espinoza, and it says former Grizzlies forward Matt Barnes shared his sentiments about athletes in a sit down with Vlad TV, where he was asked about trans players potentially playing for the WNBA. Barnes told the host he typically believes to each their own, but not when it comes to the world of sports. I don't like it, Barnes quickly responded. You want to be whatever you want to be. I'm pro make your choice. Do you do this, but sports is different. You know what I mean. Sports is different, a different beast. When he when he when he went on to speak about a trans professional fighter as well as a collegiate swimmer, Leah Thompson, the first openly transgender athlete to win the NCAA Division I national championship. Barnes, age 42, suggested both of those people had an unfair advantage in their sports. I don't like that, he reiterated. If you're born a woman, I think you should play women's sports. If you're born a man, you should play men's sports. But if you want to do whatever you want to do with your life, I respect that. That's not my business. But I just think the sports thing is just a little different. He continued, it would change the whole dynamic of the game. To me, I feel like to each their own, but when it comes to sports, I think crossing the line is crossing that line that shouldn't be crossed. Vlad TV then referenced a previous interview with Gilbert Arenas, who claimed his teenage daughter had played against trans athletes, but they simply weren't on his kid's level. They were horrible. Not one is even decent, the former Grizzly star said about the trans athletes. Barnes seemingly understood where Arenas was coming from, stating that gender identity isn't always indicative of athleticism. You might just not be ish, period. In sports, Barnes said, it is what it is. And that is the end of the article. Apparently, Matt Barnes had a lot to say. I will link his interview with Vlad TV, and I will also link the other video in the description. I mean, it's a touchy subject. I mean, you know, people would see that it's an unfair advantage, whatever the case is. I mean, it's all in how you view it. Sports, at the heart of it for me, is without gender, is something that either you're good at or you're not good at. You know, even, coming up in school, they always had, boys versus girls, or, people on teams and things of that nature where they can work together and coordinate together. So it wasn't an issue, when I was coming up. The only thing that is an issue was that this person happens to be trans, or this person happens to be another orientation, or I mean, that's what it really comes down to. It's not so much based on the skill of the person that's performing the sport. They totally disregarded that and threw that out the window. Whereas though, if you would go into any gym in the United States, you would probably see mixed teams of girls and boys playing together. Again, the only difference is that in sports, that person that they spoke about, the people that they spoke out in the article, they identify as trans. Um, and the thing is, it's like, it's a sport. Yeah, it should be for women. Yeah, it should be for men. But I mean, don't they have the Olympics? Don't they have team efforts? Even though it's separated into male, for instance, male gymnastics and female gymnastics. But when they both win for their country, they win as a team, right? That's the whole thing about it, team. You know, I think people get so hung up on, what a person's orientation is, what they identify as. There's been countless of, things going on even here in Maryland where I live at, in the county. They're having hearings right now to try to figure out whether trans kids should be allowed to play on, certain teams, or, as they identify as girl or boy, whatever the case is, and stuff. And like, the most despicable thing is that people prejudge and have this notion that trans people or gay people, whatever you want to identify yourself as predators. I just don't think it's right. Where would they change at? This, that, and the third. Well, you would accommodate them just like you would accommodate anyone else. Like, for instance, people with disabilities. You accommodate them, but you don't demonize them for having a disability, do you? No, you don't. That's just my opinion on it. You know what I'm saying? Not everyone that has a different orientation or feels a different way than they assigned sex is a predator. A lot of people will talk about people, I don't want them using the same bathroom as my children, and this, that, and the third. But you would let Uncle Charlie still come to Thanksgiving dinner, wouldn't you? You would let Uncle Robert come on over for Christmas. You would still let them watch your kids, even though he's been questionable, allegedly. He's been questionable, and that's been the family secret for years. But Uncle Charlie and Rick and all of them, and Lucy and Sally and all of them can come over and, spend time on the holidays, or even watch your kids, or you just leave them with your kids. But they're questionable. But yet you worrying about another person that's openly like, hey, this is who I am, using the same bathroom as your kid. Like, I don't get it. It's ridiculous. But again, that's just my opinion. I was never raised to look down on people that had different feelings about themselves and things like that. So that's just me. But I would definitely like to know what you guys feel about that. Please be aware, any ignorant comments on any video that I do will be blocked off top. So please don't come in my comment section talking about, oh, well, but God said. But God doesn't make mistakes. And if God made them, he made them just the way he wanted them to be. Okay? All right? Instead of you cherry picking the Bible, you need to read it. Love thy neighbor. It doesn't say love thy neighbor if they're transgender. It doesn't say love thy neighbor if they're gay. It doesn't say love thy neighbor if they're black. Oh, unless they're black, or unless they're trans, or unless they're gay, or unless they're lesbian, or unless they're etc., etc., etc. Okay? Stop cherry picking. Don't come in my comments with that, because you're going to get blocked. And you're going to get reported. Straight up. But anyone else that would like to comment on this video, I definitely would love to hear it. As we always do, we get it on in the comment section. And that's pretty much it, you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you watching this video. And I will get with you in the next one.